What's up, nerds? I'm Wes from Neverboard Gaming. I want to talk to you about Radlands, the next game coming to Kickstarter from Roxley. As always, before we get started, I want to start with a disclaimer that what we do have here is a prototype of the game. So while some things may change a little bit, honestly, this is a really well done prototype. All the artwork is in place. These discs are pretty close. I've heard that they're going to be like engraved, so they're not going to be flat. You're actually going to have a dip down there for the artwork on them. But other than that, that is pretty much, this is how the game is going to look. And what this game is it's a 1v1 card battling game where you have a central deck that both teams are sharing, and each player has 3 different camps, they're called, that they're defending. You want to destroy your opponent's 3 camps to win the game. So the first one to destroy your opponent's 3 camps is the winner. This game has a really cool apocalypse, like almost Mad Max-ish theme. I've heard it described as Apple apocalyptic, I think they said, where you've got like, world's falling apart, everyone's struggling to survive, but you've got these super vibrant colors and this really like bright artwork. Honestly, the artwork is one of like my favorite things about this game because it is just gorgeous. I'm going to throw some pictures of cards up there for you guys to look at. But like they really did knock it out of the park with the artwork, the colors, how it all comes together. You've got like kind of creepy stuff, kind of like some of the cute kids and stuff. I don't know. This just does it for me. The basic gameplay though is that on your turn you are going to get 3 water, which is the resource of this game. You have to spend water to do everything, and draw a card, and then basically do as much as you want or you can afford. Again, you only have 3 water. The card cost is like 0 up to 4, I think I've seen. So there are some cards where you can't spend them until you have other ways you can store up water, because you do lose all your water at the end of your turn, so you can't just like pass and have 6 water the next turn, although you do get a water silo, so you can bank like 1 water every single turn, which is nice to help you hit those 4 cost cards. Or there are other cost cards or abilities in the game that can let you gain more water to have those really big combo-y turns. But so you get your card, you get your water, and you spend water to play the cards into your play area. And you've got your 3 camps, and they basically make 3 columns. So each camp has 2 slots in front of it that you can play cards into, and then they basically defend. You attack the front and work your way backwards with most attacks. So you have to kill the guy up front first, and when that card is dead, then you have to kill the next card, and when that card is dead, then you can go and attack their camp. And most cards have like 2 health, so you hit once and it's damaged, you hit it again, and it's destroyed. There's also a lot of other like really cool abilities in the game where you can target cards that aren't protected. So like protected is having a card in front of it, but there are abilities that let you negate that and attack protected cards. Or there's one card in the game that if you spend 4 water, I think it's you spend 4 water to get the card, and then once you have it in play, it's 1 water to just destroy a camp, which is ridiculously powerful. But there's a lot of cards like that in the game where like, oh, I spent a lot to get this card, and now my opponent has to focus everything on destroying that card. And I think that's kind of like the main feel of this game, is there's always like I have to destroy that right now. It's very like reactive. You definitely can play, you can like plan ahead and get some combos going, but there is a lot of like, okay, this was my plan, but I have to be ready to just drop all of that because this thing dropped out, and if I don't destroy it, then that game is over for me. I had an old boss that used to say, like, the best businesses are 100% committed to a plan, but also 100% ready to throw that plan away if the need arises. And I feel like that saying fits very well in this game. In addition to cards that you can play into your stacks, you also have event cards that you can draw and play into the game. And these are pretty cool because they all have like a timing on them, and it's 0 through 3. And 3 is the back slot, 2, 1, and then 0 is it activates. So if you've got the timing is 3, you're actually going to play it into the back row, and every turn that event advances into one column, until it finally triggers. So there are some like really big events that you can see coming. And again, you can prepare for them. Okay, this event is going to damage all of my camps. I have a camp that's damaged already, which means this event is going to destroy that camp. But because I can see that event coming up, I can prepare and say, okay, again, with the throwing your plan out the window, okay, I need to focus everything on healing this camp, or restoring it, I guess it's called. And I need to focus everything on restoring that camp so that when that event triggers, I don't lose a camp. Really cool gameplay. It's really, I almost call it like a bloody game, because you're constantly like dropping this guy, then he's dead, and then I'm killing that guy, and then I'm dropping this big, and then he only lasts for one turn. So you really don't have a lot of cards that are going to last a long time in the game. A lot of cards have like instant abilities or constant effects, but then they also have like a purchase ability, and they do have casting sickness, so when you play a card, you can't just automatically use its ability. Your opponent has a chance to respond to that card being played before you can start activating their abilities. But there's a water cost there as well. So like this camp actually has an ability of spend 2 water to do a damage, and that can be to a person or to another camp of your opponent. So you only get 3 water to return again, so 2 water is an expensive cost, but it does do a damage, which is how you win the game. Each player also has your Raiders, which is an event card that kind of goes off to the side with your water silo, because you always have access to it. You don't have to draw it from the deck. And this is an event that goes into spot 2, so your opponent has 2 turns to get ready for it, that just damages an opponent's camp. Which this is like one of the main ways that you like do damage and fight each other, is with this card, because there's really no way to stop it. You can just prepare for it. So your opponent drops this down, you know it's coming, and then you can prepare, because this is going to just come in. You've got a raiding party that goes and just either destroys or damages one of your camps. So I did have a ton of fun playing this game. Every person I played it with agreed. Really great game. It plays like right in that like 30 to 45 minute range, which I kind of think is perfect for this style of game. So you do get that back and forth of like, well, you won this one, but we're doing it again right now. And it really does make a fantastic 1v1 game, because there's a good bit of strategy into like how you play your cards, looking at what events are coming up and preparing for it. Like if there's an event that's going to pop next turn that just like kills all characters in one column, then you may not want to play this really expensive character into a column right now, because you know next turn they're going to get a chance to destroy it. So a lot of good strategy if you pay attention, but the complexity of this does come from the strategy of the game and not from overwhelming you with rules. So it is a really quick teach. It's easy to play. Like there's not like a ton going on the table, because you have like your 3 columns, but it does have like a decent table presence. It's a little bit more presence than like Magic the Gathering would have. And honestly, again, like this vibrant artwork is a showstopper for me. As soon as I opened it, I was really excited about it, just because of the artwork, the vibrant colors, that like really like saturated feel. It's a great game. If you are looking for your next great 1v1 card game, I highly recommend that you back Radlands on Kickstarter. This is definitely going to be one that pretty much everyone I think is going to want in their collection. And if you're not like a co-op only gamer where you just want like friendly games, if you like card games where you're battling against each other, if you like deck builders, if you like Magic, any of those things, I think this game is going to be a hit on your table, which is why I highly recommend that you click that back button. Either click the link in the YouTube description to go to the Kickstarter if you're already on Kickstarter, scroll back up, click that big old green back button, and make sure that you secure your copy of Radlands from Roxley Games. Either way, guys, make sure you subscribe to our channel so you'll never be bored.